Yo, welcome to Spectator Sporting. I'm Zach Roach along with my partner, Mr. Adi Wally. We got a big show for y'all today. The preseason is over. We about to preview the Chicago Bears. And to help us out there, we got Coach Marcus Floyd in the building. We got my man Boone in the building. Help school us and let's try to figure this thing out. Make sure you go on YouTube, subscribe to that page, hit that bell, hit the like button, subscribe. It'll really help it. We'll really appreciate it. Also, if you comment, we will respond. And then also, we are on Spotify, so check us out. The Chicago Bears, the preseason is done. You know, we did the first show, we was just like, the Bears are going to be terrible, this is an awful team. Yeah. But the preseason is came and, I don't know, it's a little different.
Undefeated.
Yeah, undefeated.
3-0.
3-0.
First place.
Yes.
Baltimore Ravens.
Preseason, but I think listen, we can't never take preseason seriously. Because, you know, teams are not putting out everything they're supposed to put out. You don't know how what's being coached. You're going against vanilla defenses, vanilla offenses.
No game plan.
You know, game plan. But it was a couple things that strike. So, but I'm going to start with you, Coach. So, I know we can go into Justin Fields all day, but let's talk about other than the QB. What is it something positive that you see like going into this season about the Chicago Bears?
Yes, there's going to be some positivity. Going to be a rough year. Yeah. But if we was to look at the bright spots and try to find some positivity out of this year, I'm going to say I'm going to be excited about the running back room.
Okay.
All right, today they made cuts, and I'm willing to bet. I haven't even looked at other rosters. We have 2 fullbacks on our roster. So they are telling you what we're going to do. Yeah. We are going to run, pound the football.
Yeah. Yep.
And so we have David Montgomery, who's a very solid running back. He picked up his receptions last year. Had Khalil Herbert, who had a really well rookie year.
Yeah. Actually
was the Chicago Bears Rookie of the Year over Justin Fields. And so, and we have a rookie, Tristan Ebner.
Yeah.
Those 3 running backs, I'm excited to see with this new system. I could see us with a lot of 2-back formations or whatever. But even though we bring our top 2 running backs and we have these fullbacks, I think these guys are going to get a heavy workload, and I think they could produce. They've shown they could produce, so I'm very excited about our running backs. I know with that you need great scheming and you need an offensive line, but our offensive line was terrible last year, and these 2 still had some very good games. Even though David Montgomery missed some games, his numbers were still good. For my fantasy people, he still was a must play or whatever. So I'm very excited with all the factors coming back with this same running back class. The defensive coach. What a defensive coach means, you're going to run the ball more. You know what I mean? The best defense you can play is running the football. So I'm very excited. I'm very excited for this is a contract year for David Montgomery. I don't know. With this regime, they might just let him walk. Who knows? They might try to this new rookie out, Tristan Ebner. He's also going to play a lot of special teams. What we're hearing, so I think our running back group might be the strongest part of our offense and maybe team.
That's interesting. So boom, that's very interesting. Yeah. So boom, same question to you. Besides the QB position, what's some positive we can go into this 2022 season for the Chicago Bears?
Well, you know what? I think the Bears has some definite strengths. You know, I mean, I think they have some DB strengths. The running back room was definitely a super strength.
Yeah.
And I also feel like the O-line is a low-key, sneaky strength. But I want to jump on that. So what's a positive about the Bears even further, I feel like a positive is that they're going to go over the FanDuel total wins for the season at 5.5. The positive is they have a good chance of winning more than that 5.5 games with the hook, so they can win 6 games. So because of their strengths, because of their DBs, because of their O-line, because of their running backs, that's the game plan for the season. But I'm a little nervous because of the possibility of injuries. I don't think we're deep at any of our strengths, not deep enough.
Right.
So I'm worried. So my positive is the offensive line, which go hands in hand with Marcus, the running backs.
Okay.
So we just saw them go against Cleveland. They looked good. They looked good against Seattle. But overall, look at the talent and the guys they did, like Larry Bourne at right tackle. We got Tevin Jenkins, who was a surprise.
At right guard.
Yeah, super surprise at right guard.
Caught me off guard.
You're right. so, and I think that's good for him. They was calling him the young Cal Long, all right? I know, right?
Yeah,
Because he's so aggressive, he's strong, he's physical, he got that nasty mentality, and that's better at a guard than at a tackle. So I like him there. He could, I'm going to say it because I want to say it first, he could be our best O-lineman at right guard. I mean, this dude was they moved up in the draft to get him.
Yep.
He he had great, potential, but he had hurt his back. So I don't know what's going on. I don't want to get on T.I.M.E too hard, but he looked really good out there. I saw a play, but it was a holding call. But David Montgomery ran for a first down, got like 13 yards. Did one of those zone reads, and he kind of cut it back towards Tevin Jenkins' side.
Griffin Hill.
He had 84 to tight end Hill. But you saw Tevin Jenkins go to the linebacker.
Right.
He went down to get a down the field block, which is harder, in my opinion, for an old lineman to get a quick linebacker and block him in open field instead of a nice tackle right in front of him. So you saw his speed. You could see on the play. He was quick. He was fast. He got him and drove him down the field. It was beautiful. He bullied him. He was a big bully at guard. So that's our guard. Then at center, we got, Lucas Patrick or Sam Mustipher. I think Sam Mustipher's real smart. I like Sam Mustipher. I know Adiwali over here gonna say Lucas Patrick should start, but I haven't seen him. I know he played with Green Bay. He probably beat up on the Bears. I didn't know who he was at the time. Last year when he was beating the Bears down.
He was a guard at the time, but he's really projected as the center.
Yeah, so I guess Lucas Patrick is better, but I just like Sam Mustipher's brain. I think he thinks the game out. He can call who the Mike linebacker is and so on. Then our left guard is Cody Whitehair. Of course, he's our anchor. He's our guy. We got Braxton Jones at the left tackle.
That's the biggest shock.
That's the big shock.
I thought Riley Reef would start.
Yeah, I thought Riley Reef would.
I thought
when they paid him all that money, I thought Riley Reef would.
So ain't his contract like if he plays any, he get like 10 million?
3 and 3, something like that.
He has to play a certain amount of games. He got to make the playoffs.
It could be up to 12 million.
A lot of incentives.
A lot of incentives.
Okay.
So I just say that I'm happily surprised. Now, I call it the first 6 because I put in Sam Mustipher in there with Lucas Patrick as the top 6 guys. And then our bench is Jatari Carter, who's a guard/tackle. We got Zachary Thomas,
2 rookies.
who's a rookie. And then we got Riley Reef in the backup as well. So we got 3 backups. So we're not deep, but I like our first 6. You know what I'm saying, including Sam Mustipher. I'm happily surprised with that. But like I said, I'm a little worried because we're not deep at what's supposed to be a good strength of ours. So a long way to answer your question. I like the O-line, but I don't like it too much because we're not deep.
Okay.
So if somebody get hurt, then it's gonna be a big problem.
Okay. Adi, same question to you. What can we look some positive about besides the quarterback position? What's some positive for the 2022 Chicago Bears?
Well, the edge rushers, defensive ends.
Okay.
Despite Khalil Mack missing 10 games last year, the Bears were still #1 in the NFL in sacks per pass attempt. Right?
Okay.
Mainly because Robert Quinn had the 2nd best season of his entire career. He broke Richard Dent's sack record with 18.5 sacks. He's 32 years old.
Every other year now. So
Yeah. But even if he does drop off, he might go down to 12 or 10.
What did he have last year? Before last year?
He had 2 in 2020.
He dropped it 2.
He ain't dropping 2.
No, I don't think he's gonna drop 2. I don't think he's gonna drop 2. I mean, you look at his career, he's a legitimate pass rusher.
He is. No question about it.
You got a game plan for him.
Yeah.
So he's definitely a solid player. And if the Bears don't trade him, he won't become a free agent until the 2024 offseason, okay?
Right.
Now, there's trade rumors about him, and you got to look at the Baltimore Ravens, who was a possible team that may want to make a trade because they was the 5th worst team in the NFL in sacks per pass attempt last year.
Oh, wow.
And they haven't done enough to address that problem this offseason, so they can be a team that could be looking for an edge rusher. But we'll see if the Bears keep him or not. Now, I'm looking at Travis Gibson. I'm hoping that he can continue to build off his productive sophomore season when he stepped in in the absence of Khalil Mack. Okay, in only 9 starts, he had 7 sacks. 5 forced fumbles and 7 tackles for loss.
Okay.
All right. And then we got the guy Aquadine Muhammad is on the squad, and he was in Matt Eberflus little defensive scheme last year. He had the best season of his career last year, but it was only 6 sacks, 7 tackles for loss, 13 quarterback hits. All right. And like we saying, like Robert Quinn is most likely not going to break any sack records this year. So I'm looking at Muhammad and Travis Gibson to exceed expectations and continue to build off their solid 2021 season and flirt with double-digit sacks, get those quarterback hits, force those obvious passing situations, put people like Trey Lance and Aaron Rodgers and all these people under pressure in third and long situations, and continue to build off those sacks they had last year.
Absolutely.
How you feel about Mario Edwards getting waived?
I didn't like that. I like Mario Edwards. He was very productive. I liked him at defensive tackle, and he can play defensive tackle and defensive end. Yeah. And I really don't like our defensive tackle position. You know, we got Tonga, we got Justin Jones, we got Mike Pennell Jr., and we also have Angelo Blackson. Okay, so I really wanted Mario Edwards Jr. there to put some pressure up the middle, but they let him go, and so I didn't like the cut. I didn't like them cutting Mario Edwards Jr.
Yeah, I feel you. All y'all brought up some good points. I just go, now it's preseason, so you don't never want to overreact to anything that you see in the preseason. But I like what the coaching staff is doing out there.
They look competent.
Yeah, they look competent. It looks like the Bears, so that if it's one positive that I can go into 2022, is the coaching staff. I feel like the offensive coordinator, Luke Getsy, is that Getsy?
Yeah.
Getsy, it seems like he wants to put Justin Fields in good positions to do what he does best. Not have him do a lot of things that he cannot do. So, and we talked about, we thought Reef was going to be starting in the offensive line. It looks like he's got them compete.
Yeah.
It looks like he got to compete. Mm-hmm. He's not just giving out jobs. Just because they paid you this money, you're not getting the job.
Yeah, Riley Reef on the bench.
You know what I'm saying?
Tevin Jenkins was left tackle one day, right tackle one day, right guard. We gonna try to find something. We ain't gonna just try to shove you somewhere you should be. I think that was admirable of them trying to. Hey, you ain't working at the tackle spot, but he's excelling at the guard spot.
What's the biggest surprise is Michael Schofield being waived. You know, saying he's supposed to be in that starting right guard.
But he had a horrible first preseason game against the Chiefs where he got blown up, and then that's what opened the door for Tevin Jenkins to play right guard.
Yeah. And so even with, I'm gonna go back to my running back room, because we know they're gonna try to hit the waiver wire and everything. I think some of the receivers that made it, I don't think they'll be here in about 2 weeks or so. Some of the DBs, they'll be here. And I just think this was one of the strongest ones, because I don't think you could go find nobody off the street that's gonna be better than these three.
No,
you know what I mean?
I agree with that.
Yeah, unless it's an injury. And so even some of the offensive linemen, you say not enough depth.
Right.
I don't think some of them lower guys are gonna be here in a couple. You know what I mean?
I agree.
You could go pick up some offensive linemen. You could go, if you cut Schofield, I mean them guys are competing, but they still were 6 and 7 round draft picks. So
you know what? All his draft picks made the 53, which is a surprise, because some of these guys was late round picks, like Jatari Carter was a 7th round pick, right? Mm-hmm. How did he make the roster over Michael Schofield? You know what I'm saying? So
I don't know. Maybe they saying something about the players we had the year before.
I'm gonna be watching Braxton Jones like crazy, man. Because he was the 5th round pick.
Right.
5th round pick from Southern Utah and left tackle.
Yeah, I was very concerned.
So is that many NFL teams didn't see it? So I will be watching.
He said himself that he had a problem getting bull rushed. I saw an interview. So he said he knows having really quick feet at a small school, so he probably got a lot of skills, but I don't know if his strength there. He said himself out of his own mouth in the interview after that second game, he said he had a problem getting bull rushed.
You mentioned your defensive ends. Did the guy that
Dominique Robinson?
Yeah, did he make it?
Yeah, he made it. Yeah, 5th round pick.
Okay, so wow.
Yeah,
okay.
I don't expect a lot out of him this season. He's a project.
To be a wide receiver.
I can hold. He's be a quarterback. I can hold.
All right, so let's No, you good. Y'all good. So before we leave this time, let's just. All right, I know this was other than. Let's get into the Justin Fields thing right quick. So I'll start with you, Boone, on this. We all assume that the Bears pretty much are not going to be that good this year. You know, even Justin Fields could go crazy and they could still not be that good. So what's the one thing you want to see from Justin Fields that can make you confident, be like, okay, he can be our quarterback going forward?
You know what? It's really about Luke Getsy, because I don't trust right now. He has potential. If the O-line is good, Justin Fields can stand in the pocket and make his reads, just like that third game versus Cleveland, where he kind of had time to make a couple of reads for some touchdown passes. But right now, I think that he's still a little bit uncomfortable. You know what? Mike Marks was talking about the Bears a while ago. He said that a young quarterback needs to play for an already developed team because he got to learn how to be a quarterback. So the team around him got to be developed. So I think Justin Fields can't be here getting sacked and getting shell shocked because he has a fumbling problem when he gets hit with the ball in his hands. You can't make him do too much because then he might start trying to force balls down, throw interceptions. So I think as long as the offense put him in the good positions, rollouts, you know what I mean, easy reads, and what I'm looking for him to do is just show confidence. You know, even if it's an interception, you know, if you put in force to make a play, then I understand. If it's like, you know, fourth quarter, we down 21, and you force a ball 35 yards down the field, interception, and that happens all the time because we have a losing team. It's okay because you playing, you know, comeback ball.
Right.
So I can understand that. So it's all about this game, the situation that Luke Gessie put him in. That I want to see how he responds to that. So I don't want to see no more fumbles. All right. If he get, I don't want to see no fumbles. I really don't need to see no sacks. Throw the ball away if there's nothing open. You know what I mean? So we'll. Just want to see confidence. It's a lot of ways to show that. So I don't want to get into all the details. It's hard to explain.
So you just confidence.
It's an eye test. You know it when you see it.
Same with you. What's something you looking for?
I'm definitely agreeing with Boone. I'll go back to, I want to say it was the first drive against Cleveland. The offensive line completely got blew up.
Yeah.
They got blew up.
Yeah.
Justin Fields did something he didn't do last year. He seen the line blew up, threw the ball out there. He just got rid of the ball. He didn't make a horrible play into a worse play.
There you go.
See what I'm saying? So I was like, oh my goodness. He didn't do that last year.
Yeah.
He would have tried to run or he would have tried to do something. So he just right away threw the ball. Some Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady,
They
like
do all the time.
this play ain't gonna work, I'm done. You know what I mean? So things like that, what the veteran quarterbacks and what second-year quarterbacks should pick up on, like this is a dead play. I'm not about to try to. I know what I can make something out of. I know I can't. Also, one of the plays before the first touchdown, I want to say it was right after the holding penalty. It was. I mean, it was like
That tight window throw?
No, it was basically a 6-yard pass to Blasingame. It was like he looked through his progressions, nothing was there. He got rid of the ball. He didn't try to force it. You know what I mean? He just made a simple. It wasn't a first down. They were, you know what I mean? It was like a simple play. They took what the defense gave them. They didn't force it. Like, guess what? It's only second down or first down or whatever. I know we need 15. Here's 6 yards though. You know what I mean? It was just like, I just like seeing smart plays from quarterbacks. I don't think you got to get it all back. This ain't Ohio State. You don't have the fastest receivers. You don't have the best offensive line. You don't have all that time or whatever. Just take what the defense gave you, and that's what I like seeing on since the preseason so far. That they wasn't trying to outsmart nobody. They was just trying to. Hey, this is how the defense is playing. This is what I want you to do. If you could just throw 5-yard screens all day, guess what? 5-yard screens will be first downs eventually. So just little simple plays. What I don't need a lot to get impressed. We seen what he could do, but it's in between those spectacular plays. If you just want to give me a spectacular play 3 or 4 times a game, but have a horrible game, that's nothing. But between that. You see Aaron Rodgers do it. You see Tom Brady do it. They'll just sometimes 4 or 5 pass yard to death. That's what the smart quarterbacks do. You're not giving it to me. You're not giving it to me. So I'm gonna just keep hitting these. Or in baseball, I'm gonna keep taking these singles. You ain't giving me the home run.
Eventually
So
you're gonna give it to me.
I'm gonna keep taking the singles. And that's what smart quarterbacks do.
Have a high floor.
Same question to you, Adi.
Yeah, I just need Justin Fields to significantly improve his pocket presence. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And I need him to stop fumbling the ball so much. He led the NFL last season in fumbles per game.
That's got to stop.
And he didn't finish or start 6 games last year due to injury. Take too many hits. And so we love seeing him on the bootlegs and the play action, rollouts and stuff like that. But when there's an obvious passing situation, when you only get 1 yard on first down and no gain on second down, it's an obvious passing situation. The whole play action thing is not going to work. Everybody knows you're not running the ball, okay? So you got to drop back in that pocket, and it seems like whenever he gets a little pressure or something, he kind of like, he gets confused and he gets uncomfortable. I need him to kind of just have some more poise in the pocket, know how to maneuver in the pocket. You see this with other quarterbacks, other top quarterbacks. yeah, the pressure is coming, but they just kind of shuffle a little bit to the left, and they move up in the pocket a little bit. They're not scrambling. They just know how to move around to avoid that little pressure. But it's like when Justin Fields get a little pressure in the obvious pass situation, things just don't go right. He don't make the right moves.
He rely on to what he know. Oh, I know running.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he go back to, I gotta run.
Yeah. That's his problem. Yeah. And I need him to fix it.
Yeah, I agree with everything. I just think, from what I've seen, now then once again, this is preseason.
Mm-hmm.
This, it's when September 11th, when San Francisco Bosa coming to come,
when Bosa's coming to you,
I don't know how he's gonna react to it. You know what I'm saying? That's a whole different level.
Right.
Even though he played good against San Francisco last year, but that's a different story.
He did.
But
Braxton Jones versus Bosa gonna be
that's gonna be a nightmare.
Oh, that's a nightmare.
But I think I just think he don't. If he sees it, let it go. That's the key.
Yeah.
What you talking about? The pocket presence. If you see it, let it go. Don't hesitate. Because what he does sometimes is he hitches and it's not open no more.
Right.
This ain't Ohio State, like Marcus said. When you see it, you gotta let it go.
And then when he hitches and it's not open, he's about to get blasted by the damn
and I think that's
the blitzer.
Yeah, that's what we struggle with. At Ohio State, he had enough time.
Yeah.
He got the best offensive lineman. He got enough time to let those routes develop.
Right.
This is the NFL. Like, no, you ain't got that time.
So I just think if he's worked, it looks better in the preseason. It's still a couple throws I've seen out there that he didn't attack, that he didn't hit the guy when he was there. Like it was a play. I was watching. I'm giving some love to Kurt Warner. I was watching this little QB film study, and he didn't. It was a cover 2, and when you see the corner drop back, that's when you know the flat is open right there. Mm-hmm. He hesitated and didn't hit it, and then it wasn't open.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It wasn't open. That quick 7-yard pass, it might, like Marcus say, it might have been 7 yards, 8 yards, but it would have kept the chains moving.
Yeah.
So I just think when he sees it, let it go. Let it rip. Because when he let it rips, it's beautiful.
Oh, when he throw the ball,
when he's beautiful.
very accurate.
He's very accurate.
That's one thing. You know what I'm gonna say this about Mitch? Mitch didn't have deep ball accuracy, even intermediate ball accuracy. But Mitch didn't take a lot of sacks, and he didn't fumble nearly as much as Justin Fields. But it's like the opposite. It's like Fields get a lot of sacks, he fumble a lot, he get hurt a lot. Mitch didn't miss a lot of games due to injury. But he didn't have that deep ball accuracy.
No, he can throw. Fields can throw. He's a very accurate thrower.
One other thing you gotta look out for is the slide. The slide he got hit with. I mean, even though it was a late hit, that was a horrible slide.
It was a terrible slide.
That was a horrible slide.
Who knows how to slide here? That seems like a lost art in football, man. There's a lot of these quarterbacks that don't know how to slide.
It's won every game, right? So those things, that's another thing I should have added is I want to see you play every game.
Yeah,
I want to see you play
a lot.
I don't want to see you because when he got hit Saturday, everybody was like,
what's the dude, Trevor Siemian? I don't want to see a lot of Trevor Siemian. He plays solid in the preseason though. He's decent with the backup. But if Fields want to take all these hits and don't know how to slide and hold on to the ball and all that, getting sacked and hit, then Trevor Siemian gonna be up there.
Yeah.
So let's talk about it. You brought it up early, Boom. So I'm gonna go with you, Adi, first. The Bears, they are projected to be terrible this year.
Right.
A lot of them, they say we have one of the worst rosters in the NFL.
We do.
Which is possibly true.
Right.
It's no joke.
Yeah.
So the win total is at 5.5. So they're between 5 and 6. So, Adi, do you think the Bears can actually pull off 6 wins this year?
Okay.
Or is it going to be below?
Is it going to be below? Well, you know what? We didn't talk about the sensational rookie Jaquan Brisker. Okay. Now, once he overcomes that thumb injury, can he be the 8th guy in the box to help out a squad that didn't address the defensive tackle position? All right, and a squad that was one of the worst run defenses in the field last season. Okay, and then we talked about Luke Getsy. Okay, he would be a national superstar if the Bears offense can be decent with a starting rookie 5th round left tackle Braxton Jones, the worst wide receiver core in the NFL, and a 2nd-year quarterback.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, it's the worst.
Cleveland wide receiver core is.
No, they got Amari Cooper.
That's one, and then the Bucks stop
You don't like Amari.
I don't know. I don't like Amari Cooper as a. I think
Darnell Mooney ain't
He ain't better than Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper is better than Now who knows? Mooney might show out this year. He might show out this year.
He ain't did enough.
You can't put him on.
I'm not putting him over over.
Amari Cooper with the Raiders was good, but then when he got to Dallas,
He was good with Dallas.
I ain't-
I had him in fantasy last year. He got me a lot of points. I'm telling you something right now.
He might get like the overall receiver core for the Cleveland Browns is Amari Cooper and a bunch of nobodies.
Yeah.
So they competed for the worst receiver. I may have some other teams, but Cleveland receiver core is weak. I'm sorry, you were saying there's something.
Amari Cooper has established himself as a #1 receiver, though. Has Darnell Mooney?
He's going up there.
No, Cooper's above Mooney.
Cooper's going down.
No,
You can't rate him above Mooney. And then look at the Bears.
I don't like Cooper.
Look at the Bears wide receivers: Pringle and St. Brown and Billy Jones. And
Cooper's a poor man, Marcus Robinson. He's like a poor man, Marcus Robinson.
Okay, so
all right.
that's what I'm saying.
Now
Like,
his stats is cold though. I remember last show, Marcus, you told me his stats. His numbers is cold, but his gameplay for me is looking at him with eye tests. It's suspect.
all I'm saying is,
real quick,
I'm just saying that if he would be a superstar, if he could do something with this left tackle that's a rookie, 5th round pick, and then you got the wide receivers that ain't, look really bad on paper, and you know what I'm saying. So I'm gonna say that the Bears gonna go 5-12. They're going 5-12,
Whoa.
and only thing, my biggest hope is that that Justin Fields does enough this year so that Ryan Poles don't drink the whole Bryce Young and damn CJ Stroud Kool-Aid in the draft. We're going to have the top 8 pick. I'll be surprised if we don't finish in the top 8 in the draft in the 2023 draft. And I don't want them going crazy trying to get Bryce Young and CJ Stroud. You look at Ryan Tannehill. You look at guys like Jalen Hurts, Jimmy Garoppolo, David Carr. These guys are not superstars. They're not Dan Marino, John Elway, but their teams make it to the playoffs. We don't need that. We don't need a superstar Joe Montana to win. So keep Justin Fields. That's all I'm saying.
5-12, Coach. What's the Bears record?
6-11.
Woo! Got the 6. That's how I like it.
6-11.
I
I'm
like
gonna take the over. FanDuel. I haven't put any money on it. I'm taking the over. I got Houston, the Giants, Washington, Detroit once, Atlanta, and the Jets. Those are the 6 games they will win.
I like that.
They will win. Miami. I think that's.
Miami gonna crush the Bears. I disagree with y'all about Miami.
I'm not sold on Tua.
They could beat Minnesota.
I'm not sold on Tua. Miami talent is amazing,
Yeah.
but we'll see by then. By 2 weeks ahead of that, I'm gonna call you and say you still betting on Tua. I just not a Tua.
I ain't betting on Tua. I just think Miami just way more talented.
Oh, they way more talented.
Yeah, that's all. I just think what it comes down
Your
to.
quarterback means a lot in the NFL.
What you think, Bo?
Okay. Over. Bottom line, I got him with the over. I got him 6-11, just like Marcus. I got him beating Houston. They got to beat the Giants, Washington. I got him beating Miami. Well, you know what? Either beating the Lions or Miami, but of course I got him beating the Falcons. All right, so then it's gonna be either Lions once or Miami, and that's 6-11. I'm going for the over. I will be putting that money down to have my money where I'm walking. So yeah, 6-11.
6-11. I'm with Adi. 5-12.
Whoa.
5-12. I just listen. The Bears.
We'll get swept in the division, huh?
I think they'll beat Detroit.
Me too. I gotta beat Detroit.
I think they'll beat Detroit. Minnesota. I don't know. The Bears seem to play Minnesota really well.
It's like
So
defense
you know,
is lacking though, right?
Well, Zimmer always caught him in the game. Now the new offensive guy.
I don't know about
They
that
won't be
new
getting
offense.
close to Minnesota.
Yeah, so
Ain't Minnesota defense a little lacking though? They
But
offense
their offense
better.
gonna be. Their defense was always, but now their offense about to take
I
off.
don't trust Minnesota.
so I just think, and plus with the Bears, we just don't know from day to day. But I'm with Adi. I just want to see Justin Fields progress.
Yeah, that's what this year.
That's what
This year
season-
is about wins and losses.
Yeah, it ain't about wins and losses. I just want to see Justin okay, he played good. Because like I said, Justin can ball out.
If
And
he
they
got
can
the
still
talent
only win 5 games.
On a good team.
I don't believe that. Bro, I don't believe that.
I think
And you said Justin balling out. What does that mean? When you say he balled out, you talking about
Deshaun Watson.
late 20 touchdowns and like low.
Well, remember Watson
double digit.
before he had to sit
Watson.
out. Look at his year.
Watson.
Look at his year. He was fantastic.
But their team was so.
And they only won was it 4 games?
The Bears killed them.
And he got sacked a lot that season.
Yeah,
he got
but I'm
sacked
just
a lot.
saying.
A lot.
Yeah,
He was amazing.
He had no amazing.
Now he got
was
sacked,
amazing.
but he was amazing.
He killed.
The Bears
Did
don't
he have DeAndre Hopkins that year?
He had no running
No,
back.
he didn't even have DeAndre Hopkins.
Who's playing running back?
Who? For I don't know who.
They had no running game. He had no O-line to block for him.
But despite that, he barely threw any interceptions. He threw for over 4,000 yards. I think he led the league in touchdown passes. Oh, he was up there. He had a phenomenal season, and they sucked.
That team, the overall team around him was horrible.
After that, you didn't have no questions.
You had
about
no-
it.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
that's what we need. That's what you
Okay.
want.
Yeah.
You want at the end of the year, you be like, is he our franchise quarterback? You want to know for sure.